America for more on President Trump's fourth indictment. Let's welcome in former chief counsel for the Senate Intelligence Committee, senior Justice Department official and Newsmax contributor Joe DeGeneva, and distinguished professor at Troy University, Thane Rosenbaum. Good morning, gentlemen. Joe, just want to get your reaction this morning. What do you make of this latest indictment?
Well, it's an embarrassment to the legal profession, or what's left of it. This is clearly a political document. What we have here is an attempt to criminalize political speech and political organization. There's nothing that was done by the president and all of these fine lawyers that violated any statute in the state of Georgia. Fani Willis has indicted 19 people, and she says in her brilliant news conference last night, she intends to try them all together. Good luck. Let's see, 19 defendants, 2 defense attorneys at least for each one. That's 19 and 38. That's 57 people, plus the prosecutors. There isn't a courtroom large enough in that courthouse for this case. So where does she intend to try it? Perhaps she will rent a gymnasium, which would be consistent with the kinds of things that went on in the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany.
Yeah, Thane, let's talk about that, because it's taken them 2+ years for this, and now they're bringing this up right now. And you're an attorney. To get this done in 6 months, have this go to trial, it seems nearly impossible. So what happens? What's next? What do Trump's lawyers do? What's the first step?
Well, there's going to be a raft of pretrial motions, right? First of all, he's not going to. He's got his attorneys, at least 3 or 4 of them, that are part of the 19 co-defendants. There's an attorney-client privilege. Those conversations they had are protected. There's also going to be the question of venue. If you're claiming that I subverted the votes of the people of Georgia, how are the people of Georgia going to give me a fair trial? You're charging me with stopping them from voting. This has got to be someplace else. These are all pretrial motions that Donald Trump's attorneys are going to undertake. Similarly, I'm running for president, right? I simply challenged this election, the earlier election. I didn't try to overturn it. You can't prove that I tried to overturn it. There's a confusion here between making the argument, what we're seeing in D.C. is that it's unlawful to challenge the election results. No, it's not. No, it is simply not. The founding fathers would have permitted that, of course. Similarly, even the 11,500 votes, right? The argument there is, where is the proof that I said falsify the election? I said, find me the results.
Right.
Audits, recounts. So there's many arguments to be made before there's even a trial.
Yeah, Joe, let's take a look at DA Fani Willis. So she was born in California. Her father was a member of the Black Panthers. She's an activist Democrat. So taking a look at her background, keeping this in mind, does this look like a witch hunt, or do you think there's a case at all here?
Well, there's no doubt it's a witch hunt. That goes without saying. Fani Willis is a classic leftist prosecutor of the George Soros variety. She comes from a radicalized communist background. She's the worst of the worst. Watching her news conference last night was very painful. Usually when, as a former United States attorney who held many news conferences after cases were finished, it's interesting to watch somebody who gives a news conference before the case is done, announcing all these things. And then there's the joke part. There's the bad joke part where she announces very dignified, all these people are presumed innocent. Give me a break. This is a railroad, a one-way railroad. And as I said, I'm just going to be fascinated by the logistics of trying this case with 19 defendants. This will be Circus Maximus in Rome.
Yeah, Joe, just want to get your take. I know we've talked earlier with about 30 seconds. So this indictment was apparently leaked, right? So there was a copy of this indictment that went on the Fulton County website earlier in the day while the grand jury was still meeting. And the DA was asked about it last night. And she said, well, she didn't really know how that happened. And, she doesn't know how the clerk's office works. So how could that even be possible?
Well, this was a leak by her office, and she knew it. And she was lying during that press conference. Listen. These are sleazy people. You can't mince your words about people like Fani Willis and Alvin Bragg and Jack Smith. These are sleazy people. This is the criminalization of the political process and the politicization of free speech. The American people need to wake up. What you saw last night was the darkest form of bad humor you can ever have in a free society. She's an ugly person. She's an ugly lawyer, and she is not worthy of the mantle of a prosecutor. Prosecutors in our society are supposed to stand up for justice. She is not that. She does not fit that description.
Yeah, and we'll see how it plays out. Joe DeGeneva, Thang Rosenbaum, thank you so much. Appreciate it.